Merry Christmas Eve. Such good energy in the air. Although I do see people struggling a little bit. People who haven't, like even light workers, like just people who still have those things that they always push to the side that they never really wanted to deal with. And now it's like, you got to, because you have to step up to the plate vibrationally just to keep up with the influx of light that's coming in right now. And so, yeah, you're being pushed a little bit, but it's for a good thing. You have to see the positive in the contrast, you know. It was funny. I actually posted on my story earlier because I was wrapping gifts and I was listening to like Pandora radio, and I listen to it every once in a while if I'm just like in the kitchen. Yesterday I was like baking some pies and stuff, and I was listening to it, and both days I noticed there were these ads, and they were talking about schizophrenia. They were like pharmaceutical ads talking about, I think it was like a shot or something you could get if you have schizophrenic episode or whatever. And it just like, immediately I was like, oh my God. Like, how evil are these people? They legit know that there's an influx of light coming onto this planet. They legit know that people are going to start waking up. It's happening. There's nothing they can do to stop it. So, in their evil little brains, they literally are trying to think 2 steps ahead. Okay, so what's going to happen to these people when they wake up? What's going to happen to people who don't know a lot about spirituality and possibly have their psychic gifts like clairaudience or something like activated within them? Now, when that happens, some people, Phil Good is a great example of this. He talks about it openly on his channel all the time. He actually had to go to a psych ward because they thought he was bipolar and had all these issues, right? When really he was psychically activated but didn't understand it, which is basically what happens sometimes with people. And then they just get medicated and thrown into a psych ward, and just like, what do you do with them, you know? And at the end of the day, it brought me back to this Joseph Campbell quote that goes, it's something like, the psychic swim, or the mystic swims in the same waters that the psychotic drowns. And they know that. And so when they have these experiences where they're connected, so they're connecting into something, and maybe they hear voices or something, now they're going to hear on Pandora radio, don't worry about it. Just go get a shot or take some medication. You won't have to worry about that connection. We'll dim it down for you. Like, these people are going, it just fucking blows my mind in a lot of ways. But I wanted to bring that up to you guys because I saw it, and, you know, I get little downloads and synchronicities, and weird stuff happen to me all the time, and I know I need to share it more. I need to just turn on my camera and share those experiences with you more because I think they're valuable, and I don't want to just keep them all to myself. So yeah, that was another thing that I noticed. What people don't realize is that there's this space we get stuck in, and it's not necessarily our fault because of the programming, but it's like we're not allowing ourselves to grow because we think that we're good, like we're woke, so we know so much, and we're already there, and there's really not that much more I have to improve. Like, I could still, you know, do things that dim my light, and I'm still gonna, like, you've had a taste of that high vibrational, you know, life, you know, and you kind of cap out. You stop really like working on yourself, you know what I mean? And I noticed this, and it's so like, so okay, here's an example. Like, what I've been seeing a lot, and I don't even know if this is like a great example, but to me it reminds me of this. So I've been seeing a lot on social media where like people will be speaking their truth, putting information out there, and then of course we get that backlash, right? And we get that backlash from people who are on their journey, And they're not to that space where we have already got to, where we're like, whoa, some of this stuff doesn't seem right. It seems a little bit off. It might not be true. Then you start digging and digging and digging, and you find out a lot of this shit ain't true. And then you start waking up. So you wake up to the information, then I don't know, that's how it happened to me. I woke up to the information first, and then I started understanding spirituality later. Like, I had a spiritual awakening after I had a different kind of awakening, which wasn't spiritual. To me, it didn't feel spiritual. It just felt like I was learning a lot about how shitty the world is, but then sitting in that fear instead of harnessing the spirituality aspect of it, the other side of it, bringing in that balance in order to feel like a powerful, infinite being that isn't scared of shit, And that balance is crucial. So where you see the imbalance, like on social media, I'll bring it back to that because I never really finished the story to begin with. Where you see that imbalance is like people post stuff, they're posting the truth or whatever, and people come back at them. And their reaction says it all in terms of where they're at on their journey. If you feel like you want to debate or prove somebody wrong or blah, 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 or you're even feeling this like uncomfortable, like judgmental, like whatever inside of you, and we're all guilty. I'm not saying I've never felt this, like, sometimes it's just that immediate reaction after somebody says something. It's like, you don't know shit, you know what I mean? Like, stop, you don't know your shit, you know what I mean? And that's what my ego wants to say to this person. But when you come from like a different perspective, a higher perspective, you understand that this person is on a journey, and on this journey they may have been deeper and more attached in their programming than you were. And so if you, like, for instance, had a rougher childhood, and you had to go through a lot, you had to face a lot of your shadow, it's probably easier for you to be open to releasing some of that programming. More so than it is somebody who is, like, raised in a decent household, always, you know what I mean? Because they're more attached to these things, because to them, everything felt right. Everything felt right and good growing up, and everything's good. And why do I want to change that? I'm very comfortable here. I'm in my comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? And these attachments run so deep, so deep. And people in big families who are very, very connected and on the phone with each other all the time, those attachments are serious. They're serious, they're real, and I'm starting to see that a lot of the people who are struggling to let go of the programming, they have that. They have that. And it's more difficult. So when they post things, or not those people, but people who are awake post things and they get this reaction and they want to react to the other person, they're not taking anything about that other person into consideration. They're just like, you're an idiot, you don't know what you're talking about. And they're not idiots. They're not idiots. They're stuck. They're stuck at a certain frequency, and they are a lot of times stubborn in a way, because they're in this comfort zone. Why change? We just wait for things to go back to normal. Normal was good. And I feel them on that. I do feel you on that. But at the same time, like, they don't understand that their normal was literally like corruption, and it was about to get really dark. It's not gonna, I'm telling you, it's not gonna, because it's just not possible. And I can say that, and you can say, oh, what's your evidence of that? It's not possible from my perspective, because the way I see the world is from a different vibrational frequency than maybe you see the world. And that's not a hierarchical thing. I've done the work. I've shed so many layers of myself. I've dove into deep, dark places most people wouldn't even dare to look. The scary shit. That's why I'm able to come on my YouTube channel and share very, very vulnerable things that have happened to me in my life, or that I've experienced in my life. Um, but at the end of the day, these people who are trying to wake up, we wanna let our egos take the reins in those situations where they have something smart to say to you. And what I have to say to you is, remember, light warrior, they are the very people we came here to help. Because you have to, in order to help somebody, you have to experience that very thing that they need to experience in order to level up vibrationally as well. And so, in order to be able to get through to somebody to help them, you have to have compassion. You have to put yourself in somebody's shoes. You have to stop trying to control somebody by proving something to somebody. Allow things to just be what they are. Understand that they are going to wake up. When? Who knows? Does it matter? Not really, because time doesn't exist. Your past, your future, and your present are all happening right now. How can I prove that to you? I can't. That's the funny thing about spirituality. I can prove nothing to you because it's not for me to prove to you. It's for that experience is for you to have for you. So when it comes down to it, we're all in this together. Because as each person wakes up, then they wake up the next person, then they wake up the next person. I just saw this video, and it was like about these bees, and like something had attacked one of the bees. And then what happened? A whole swarm of bees comes and attacks this thing that's 10 times their size, right? And kills it. Because that's just how it works. When we come together, we start coming together and seeing this person that's bumping up against us as an aspect of who we are. Because we all are from the one. We are a part of the one. Once we start to operate in that way, and it becomes less of an effort. What I like to say is I call it practicing. So when I'm in a good space, I love to practice. And what I mean by practice is like really paying attention to everything I say, every thought I think, and like picking myself apart. Like, why did you make that facial expression? Why did you feel that way when you saw that? Like, why did that, like, really pick yourself apart? Because when you start to do that and you really start to dig deep, that's where the magic happens. The magic doesn't happen by paying some guru to teach you how to do Reiki. That is not how the magic happens. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But I am saying you can, and I say this all the time, because it's freaking everything. You can know as much as you want. You can go to as many seminars as you want. But at the end of the day, the real work is you in every single moment choosing a higher perspective, not to react from a place of ego. Recognizing that you may have anger. You're a human being. You're going to have negative feelings. So it's about knowing that you're going to have anger, knowing that you're going to have sadness, knowing that you're going to have grief, whatever those low vibrational feelings are, but then knowing how to alchemize them. And that's where the mastery lies. Like seeing that. It's funny because like once you understand like you're a human being, you're going to have these emotions, and then you really start to understand the dark side of yourself, because we all have a light side, we all have a dark side. It's so funny. It's in plain sight. We've all seen the little cartoons where there's like a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other shoulder. These are the aspects of ourselves that we will always be with. But we just have to know and understand how to be the one in the driver's seat, right? The one, coming from a space of light and love and understanding. And then whenever those egoic reactions come up, and people have a hard time understanding what the ego is, but the more you get to know yourself, the more you'll know. Because whenever you react to something and it doesn't feel good, that's your ego. Every time. And even if it feels good, it's probably because you're used to feeding your ego and you don't recognize your own shit. Which is also, we all deal with it, right? I didn't recognize my own shit for a very long time, and I'm still recognizing more and more shit about myself on a daily basis, and that's okay. It's okay if I'm making that effort. After you recognize something, it's about implementing whatever you've learned and then bringing it into the physical. It's sad to me that there's so many people that have learned so much but have gone not very far in terms of people who are awake. And the reason they haven't is because they think because they know they're woke. It's not about being woke. It's about walking in the light. It's about literally your presence, you speaking to somebody, moves them because you're so full of light, because you're so full of love, that they could say anything they wanted to you. They could say the most negative thing, and all you can do is look at them and just beam, just freaking beam from your heart, because that's how it feels when you're connected. It's like you're untouchable, you're unfazed, unbothered. Nothing can bother you because you understand it. And if you really want that knowledge that you're seeking by watching a million YouTube videos, and I'm not judging anyone because I watch a million YouTube videos. I do it because I love to hear other people's perspective, but it's all inside of you. It's all inside of you. And the more you connect, the more you receive it. And you'll just be sitting there and you'll think something and you'll know something you've never thought or known before. And you'll be like, where the fuck did that come from? It came from you. The universe. You are the universe. The deeper you get, the trippier it gets. It's not really trippy though, because then once you start to realize it, you start to feel it inside of you, and the power, and I don't mean a negative kind of power. I mean like the most insane power from a space of complete bliss. Like that is what you start to feel, and you just like burst with expansion. It's that's what the universe is anyways. It's infinite expansion in every direction. That's why so I even put on my Instagram that I've been doing a lot of research. I've been reading the Law of One, like listening to videos of different people explaining it. Like, how can we make this information consumable? Because it's so complex, but like, that's the shit. If you understand this inside of every cell of your freaking being, that is what is going to help you just fucking shoot to the freaking stars, man. Like, it's going to catapult you on your journey. And, you know, they were explaining the Atman, which is 0 point. It's where everything began. It's nothing and everything. It's all at the same time. And how we all came from that. And then it's just infinite expansion in all directions. But, yeah, I want to bring you guys that information. I want to bring it in a consumable way. So, like, for me, I homeschool my kids. And I want my kids to know the truth. So, for instance, you know, everybody talks about our Earth being a globe, our Earth being flat, right? And for me, I am attached to neither. But I absolutely want to teach my children both perspectives so they have the opportunity to form their own opinions. Because as a teacher and as a mother, I'm not here to think for them. I'm here to show them how to look at a million perspectives and then think for yourself and tune in to your intuition. You know, as parents, I'm just going to go off on a million tangents. As parents, what we need to understand is not about giving them all these tools, which basically are controlling compliancy tools that they learn in school. That's not the gift that they need. The biggest, most amazing gift you could give your children is to teach them about their own power so they're able to harness their own intuition and navigate life like it's nothing. Because it's not. When you live in the moment, you're not worrying, you're not in anxiety worrying about the future. You're not in depression stuck in the past. You're present. And when you're present, you're in a space of co-creation with the universe. And in this space, you don't have to effort. And what I mean by effort doesn't mean like you don't have to go out there and get shit done. You absolutely do. But the most important thing that everybody's missing, all these people are saying hustle hard, that work hard to get what you want. The missing piece is connection to source. Because you're not operating from a space from your intuition. You're operating from a space from your ego. Because you think all these things, reach for all these things externally, and work hard to get them, and that's gonna make me happy. But what you don't realize is what's gonna make you happy is to choose happiness right now. Choose it. And how do you do that? Look around and find something to be grateful for. Look all around you. Stop looking for everything externally to make you feel like you're worth a damn. What I've experienced on my spiritual journey and the places I've gone, the feelings I felt inside of my body, because damn, I am a feeler. Like, my gifts are in feeling. I want to give that to everybody so badly. I just want them to have a taste. So then they'll be like, oh shit. Maybe this person that I married, like, I didn't even know what love was. I didn't know what love was till I felt that feeling. You don't know what anything is like until you experience it. All you can do is assume. It's so funny because, like, I've been all over the United States. I have not traveled outside the country, but I've been all over the United States. And when I was younger, I would watch all these movies. I mean, now you watch movies about certain places like New York City and California and all this stuff. Then you go to these places and they're nothing like the energy you felt from the whatever you watched. Nothing like it. And that's because I had to be there. I had to experience myself to know the truth. And that's just it. You have to get that taste. So, for me, like in my relationship, I had a taste of, like, especially like if any of you are twin flames, like when you meet your twin, you get this taste, this blast of unconditional love. And then, you know, you're working through it. I'm not going to go into the whole twin flame thing, but I didn't know that love existed. I thought I had love with my ex-husband. I had thought I had love with other people I've had long-term relationships with in my past. I'm like a relationship person. And I look back and I'm like, holy shit. That wasn't even fucking close. I mean, not even in the same ballpark. And now, like, it's so funny because, you know, me and Lance have been together a couple years now, but now I realize that it's this weird thing that happens, and this might trip you guys out, but I realize that this love that, you know, I was activated through meeting him, he was activated through meeting me. Our kundalini was definitely activated at the time. Like, our whole lives exploded. But anyways, I realized, holy shit, I just learned how to harness that for myself without him. Like, legit, like, it's weird to even say this, but like, if Lance were to just be gone, right? I don't need him for that love. He doesn't need me for that love. So you get to this weird space on your journey where you're like, I need nothing but what I have. I don't even need these clothes on my freaking body. Like, all I need is this breath. And once you get to that space is when you start feeling freaking invincible. And you make decisions in a different way. You stop really trying to predict the future. If your mind goes to the future, like, for instance, like, if I think about me and Lance, are we going to be together forever? If I go there, I start to feel my vibration go down. Because A, I'm not living in the moment. B, it doesn't fucking matter. Is that like what I'm dealing with right now? No. Like, we love each other, right? Okay. And everything's good. Like, you know, we're not in a space where there is some type of issue, but I don't know. And you will lower your vibration trying to predict the future, trying to be like, oh, I just want to get married and have kids and do X, Y, and Z and a white picket fence. And it's just like, stop. Don't let your programming take a hold of you. Don't let your program take a hold of you. Lance could decide tomorrow he doesn't want to be with me anymore. And guess what? I'm still going to feel that bliss, that love, because I get it from inside of me. You know, the whole came here for a mission. I don't know if we necessarily came here for a mission, because all we really are here to do, so I guess it is kind of a mission, I don't know. In a weird way, it's not. I'm the type of person that sees it from every fucking angle. So it sounds like a bunch of paradoxes, but that's how the universe is anyways. But essentially, we're just here to feel good as we possibly can. And if we do that, that's how we raise the vibrational frequency of Gaia. That is the mission. So really, there ain't shit to do but feel good, right? So don't get so caught up in what's going on in the world, because you're helping people by spreading information to allow them to, you know, assist them in waking up. But at the same time, if you're getting offended, let's bring this back full circle. If you're getting offended by every little thing that somebody's saying that they're not, you know, ready to receive that information, well, you know what I'm saying? Check yourself. Am I coming from ego, or am I coming from my heart? Am I coming from, we're all in this together, that person is an aspect of the universe, so am I? And the more you realize that every single thing, every single raindrop, every fucking thing is connected, and you're connected to it, you'll think a lot differently about the way you operate in life. And once you start thinking about life differently, then you can start putting the action into motion and actually making changes, stepping out of fear, coming into a space of, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because it doesn't take away what's true. And what's true is that we're all ascending. We're all going to be waking up more and more and more. Even if you're already awake, you're going to continue to. And I'm sure you already feel that within yourself. And the fact of the matter is the vibrational frequency of the earth is raising. It's already in 5D, and every single person is either going to have to step up to the plate, or they won't be able to handle the energies. And you can use your imagination as to what's going to happen in that regard. I'm not trying to scare anyone. I'm not trying to instill fear. I'm trying to tell you, check yourself, or you will literally wreck yourself. Okay? And I'm going to get back to my family because it's Christmas Eve, but Spirit was like pushing me outside, and so here I am in my quiet, well, kind of quiet, it's raining, truck, delivering this Christmas Eve message to you guys. I'm so fucking excited. I am so excited because with every like just because I'm channeling a message to you guys right now, I'm like a little shaky and ungrounded because the energies are that crazy. I need to eat, actually. Definitely need to eat. But I love you guys, and have a Merry Christmas, and yeah, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate, if you celebrate. I like to do the fun stuff with my kids. I like to do the fun stuff because, like, at the end of the day, everything is about intention. So you can try to judge yourself, oh, this means this and this means this, and it's just like, what do you say it means? Because that's what the fuck it means. Let's not overcomplicate this stuff. You are powerful. What you say goes. So you can judge yourself, or you can claim shit, or you can say this is what it is. Let it be done, and so it is done. Okay? Okay. I keep going off on tangents. I love you guys. Getting off here. Have an awesome holiday.